Anything happen in the news yesterday? Was there, I don't know, I was sort of scrolling through and, oh yes, I saw the Alex Jones interview heard round the world. I had a lot of work that I was supposed to do yesterday, could not do any of it because I, like so many people, was glued to my screen. I didn't even at first know where to find this Alex Jones show. It just was blowing up all over social media. Kanye West is on Alex Jones saying all sorts of crazy things. And so I found the link, I think on Rumble or something. Kanye in his own words.
I see good things about Hitler also. I love everyone, and Jewish people are not going to tell me, you can love us, and you can love what we're doing to you with the contracts, and you can love what we're pushing with the pornography. But this guy that invented highways, invented the very microphone that I use as a musician, you can't say out loud that this person ever did anything good, and I'm done with that. I'm done with the classifications. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially Hitler. How about that one? Ari Emanuel, how you like that one? Hey, Ron, you gonna do anything to fix Chicago? Even like our truth, the fact that African Americans were in America before the Pilgrims, that truth is hidden, that we are actually the Native Americans, or some of us are Native.
So a couple of fact checks here. The black people were not in America before the Pilgrims. And they are not the Native Americans, the real Native Americans. And also, you do not, in fact, have to hand it to Hitler. You never actually have to hand it to Hitler. And this, for those who are just listening right now and can't see it, Kanye is wearing this full kind of gimp suit, head mask thing, so you can't see his face. Throughout the interview, Alex Jones keeps saying, is this really even Kanye I'm talking to? It's an amazing thing to watch Alex Jones be made uncomfortable in an interview, because he comes out and he says, well, listen, people are calling you a Nazi, but you're not a Nazi. And Kanye says, well, so that was very, very jarring. It's why everyone tuned in the first place. But then Kanye complicates his declaration of love for the Nazis by declaring love for all sorts of other people.
I love the Zionists. I love the people that blocked my bank account, because God runs the world and uses everyone. I do love Hitler. I do love the Zionists. I love everyone. I love Jewish people. I love Jewish
Yes, we're talking about Stanley Kubrick.
But Jesus is king, and I love everyone. This is love speech, Ari. This is love speech in Jesus' name, the real King of Israel, Jesus Christ. This is love speech. I love Jewish people. I love supermodels. I love everyone accordingly, all the way from the Balenciagas to the Hitlers.
Let me tell you a story.
Hold on, sir.
Okay.
To Ari Emanuel, to Jamie Dimon, to the people who, I love all of those.
You love Mao Zedong?
Absolutely. Mao brought
clarify that. You're saying you're like Christ-like. You love everybody.
Yeah.
No matter, you love Jim Jones. You love Jeffrey Dahmer.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, let's clarify. I get to.
So you would assume that when someone says, I love Hitler and I love the Nazis, that would be followed by, and I hate the Jews. But Kanye follows it here by, I love the Jews, I love the Zionists, I love supermodels, I love Mao Zedong, I love Ari Emanuel, I love Stalin, I love Lamp. I don't know, I love all of these things. But then he goes on and does seem to have a special sort of ire for the Jews, and this is what led into another episode of this 3-hour-long interview that went viral as well, when Kanye pulled out an aquarium net and a bottle of Yoo-Hoo to do a sort of carrot top prop comedy routine about the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
What we did is we brought Netanyahu with us.
I mean, I'm in the twilight zone right now.
Netanyahu, what do you have to say What do you have to say to Alex Jones right now, Nick Fuentes and Ye? It was bad. It was bad for Trump to meet with Nick and Ye. Okay. I had no idea your voice was going to sound like that, Netanyahu.
So you don't like Benjamin Netanyahu?
You get it? It's a net and Yuhu. And he's sitting there with Nick Fuentes, who is working on his campaign and who was at that Trump dinner and caused all the big stir. And then, however, the interview took another turn, and specifically on the whole net and Yuhu bit, he takes it in this very personal direction.
If I say something that's provocative towards the Mossad, is that misogynistic? Hold on, let's hear from Netan. Hey, I'm the head of the Mossad. I'm gonna kill you and take your children away from you. Thanks a lot, Netan. Back to you, Alex.
Please turn your microphone around, sir. Man, I'm definitely overwhelmed here right now. Infowars.com, tomorrow's news today. Listen, all I'm trying to get through here is, I believe every group should be able to be
switched his name to Netan. I dropped the Yahoo so we didn't have to. I was tired of picking up the Yahoo and the Netan. So for now, he's just Netan. I know some people call him BB. No, some of you call him Yahoo, but we're gonna call him Netan. What you want, Netan? Hey, right after this, I'm gonna say you're crazy. I'm gonna take your family away from you. We're not done with you yet. You cannot cause free thought. We have to control the history books. We have to control the banks, and we have to go and kill people. Also, we're in the pedophilia. Ha.
So at this point in the interview, if you're still watching, you're starting to think, okay, something's gone even more off the rails here than at other times in Ye's public career. And then he takes it all the way personal. So it starts out with Hitler and the Jews. Then it goes, I love everybody. I love Lamp. I love, I love the Jews. It's not just that I love Hitler. I love the Jews. But really, I don't like Benjamin Netanyahu and Israel. But really, this is all about this personal stuff, my family, my kids, my life. And then he kind of ditches the Bibi Netanyahu thing and just gets right into his personal family problems.
My security is the fact that I didn't load up pornography last night. And I said, this addiction is gonna have to flee from me. This addiction since I was 5 years old that has destroyed my mom and my dad's family, that destroyed my family. Like, when I take full accountability for the destruction, of my marriage, I'll point at the liberals and say, you took my wife from me. You know what took my wife from me? The fact that I was married to this beautiful person, but I felt like it wasn't enough. I felt like I still needed to look at pornography. In some way, I'd say to her, well, stop making these images, stop breaking the internet. That original term comes from my ex-wife actually having a nude photo that I didn't know about, that someone used her and put her on a magazine. But there's somewhere where she's like, well, if my husband is looking at this, I still want to be like the girls that are doing this. And this becomes people reliving the traumas, pushing the addiction.
So this was the most amazing part of the interview, and nobody's talking about it, because he says, look, I blame the liberals for breaking up my family, but it wasn't the liberals, it was me. But Kanye doesn't blame the liberals. He blames the Jews in other places, or the Zionists, or the whoever for breaking up his family, or Benjamin Netanyahu's going to come and take his family. But then in this moment, probably the most lucid moment of the interview, he says, but it wasn't them, meaning the liberals, or elsewhere he said it's the Jews, or whoever. It was me, because I looked at pornography and I did it, and so I lost my family. There are three defining struggles in Kanye West's public career that we've seen. The first one is mental disorder, meaning his mind just gets disordered. And you see, he's talking about how black people were here before the Native Americans or something, right? Among all the other things he said, he just said things that are just so manifestly incoherent and obviously not true. Then there's performance art. Kanye West has always been this wild performance artist. George Bush doesn't like black people. Taylor Swift, I'm going to take your award from you, and I'll let you finish, but Beyonce had the better album. You got to give this album to Beyonce. And then he goes a step further. He says slavery was a choice, right? One of the most shocking and offensive things you can possibly say. Then he took it up another level when he put the MAGA hat on, wearing that MAGA hat, which this was after the media had called Trump the devil for however long. He says, that's the most offensive, provocative thing I can possibly do. You tell me I can't do it, that's what I'm going to do. And then he took it to its absolute perfect extreme by saying, I like Hitler. I like Hitler is the most shocking and offensive thing you can possibly say in our culture. Hitler is synonymous with the devil in our language. It's why he didn't get the same reaction when he says, I love Mao, I love Stalin. People can get away with saying, I love Mao, I love Stalin. Well, you can hand it to them. You can wear a Che Guevara shirt, whatever. In our language, Hitler is synonymous with the devil. In fact, worse than the devil, because Hitler was incarnate. The devil's just a spirit. Hitler was incarnate. And so you see, even taking aside, maybe Kanye hates the Jews, maybe Kanye's a Nazi, whatever, you just see that as the extreme manifestation of that kind of performance art. And then the third one, which no one's talking about, is this guy just lost his whole family. And if you've ever known someone who's gone through a divorce, they go kind of crazy most of the time. And especially if they've already got these sort of underlying mental issues and these underlying artistic issues where you were naturally drawn to these extremes. When something like that happens, people can just break. And so it's why I'm not going to make fun of Kanye West. It's why I'm not even going to really engage too seriously in any of the claims he's making, whether it's about, Hitler or the black Native Americans or Bibi Netanyahu. I mean, when he was laughing manically with the yoo-hoo in one hand and the net in another, I just think it's a really cheap shot to make fun of somebody or to castigate somebody, too seriously. And he was just kicked off of Twitter because he posted a Star of David with a swastika in the middle, and people are assuming this is just another declaration of his love for the Nazis. It's actually not. That's a symbol of what's called the Raelism movement. The Raelian movement was this movement from the 1970s, founded by a guy named Claude Vorhillon. And I'll see if so the symbol is this little pendant that they would wear of the Star of David with the swastika in the middle. But it's this idea, it's this kind of crazy cult that believes that there are all these aliens and that you get abducted by aliens, and that the word Elohim, the word for God, is a plural term, which means those who came from the sky, and they would wear these sort of extraterrestrial symbols. So anyway, it's just obviously all the symbol of disorder. And what should one do? One should pray for Kanye, probably not take this stuff all that seriously. I don't think he should be going on like TV to be pontificating on these views. He's always had those three problems, even the personal issues in his life, because he's cycled through so many advisors constantly. I personally am friends with like 3 of Kanye's advisors going back 10 years, and I don't know Kanye West. I've never met Kanye West. And so you think there are all these personal relationships. He lashed out in that interview against Dave Chappelle for doing a comedy bit about him. Dave Chappelle was defending Kanye in the comedy bit. It's just, if any one of these issues were going off at a particular time, it would be dangerous. But you've got the mental disorder, and you've got the performance art, and you've got the personal life all kind of crashing around. And so I say, probably should pray for the guy. That's what I would do. Make sure you head on over to the member block. We also have fake headlines. I need your help in discerning which headlines are real. So if you are not a member, click the link in that description and join us.